Hello everybody and welcome to another one of those quick Dwarf Fortress tutorials. In this video we are going to be talking about how to make a very basic moat and how to fill it up safely. In order to do this you're going to need two workshops primarily, although a third one is an option. You're going to need a mechanics workshop and you're going to need a stoneworker's workshop. You could also do this with a carpenter's workshop. Basically what we're going to need is a floodgate, which can be made out of wood at a carpenter's shop, and it can also be made out of stone. I like to make them out of stone. It just feels more thematic. So we're going to make a floodgate. We're also going to queue up a total of 3 mechanisms. So now that we have the 3 mechanisms queued up, and our floodgate queued up, what we're going to do is we're going to begin digging. Now we're going to need a source of water. Now because this is going to be a moat, we're probably going to build it on the surface. So we're going to need space for it. So just let me get rid of these pesky trees. So now that that dwarf is working on their way getting through those trees, I'm going to queue up a space for our moat. Now if you're going to make a moat out of water, with water in it, you're going to want it to be about 3 tiles wide. You're going to kind of want it to go around wherever you want your fort to be. I don't like perfect squares, so I'm going to kind of round off the edges a little bit. We still have some trees to get rid of, so we're just going to kind of wait for our dwarf to complete that task, but I can queue up as much as possible until then. Now we're channeling down, and what channeling does is it removes the layer below as well as the surface layer. We could also dig, but that would require us going underground initially to do so. Once it's all channeled out, there will be space at the bottom of the moat. And then from there, what we are going to do is we're going to connect the moat to our creek, but not all the way to it. And we're also going to need to make a lever to actually fill the moat itself. So I'm just going to wait for the dwarves to dig this out, and then we'll continue with the video. Now that they're digging out the moat, we might as well also build a little drawbridge. Now what we're going to do is we're going to connect this drawbridge to the edge of the map, which of course later we could hook up to a lever. I just like to have a drawbridge in place before I fill my moat. So what we're going to do is we're going to click and drag and make a little drawbridge right here. And for this video, we're just going to make it out of wood. Just a nice thin little drawbridge right there, just so the dwarves have a way of getting in and out of the map. Now on the lower layer here, as you can see, they're finishing this up. There's still these ramps here. If I press R on the keyboard, it'll actually show the arrows. These are all ramps that are going up to this upper layer. I want to remove most of these. I want the dwarves to still have a way out, however. So I'm going to remove everything. Whoops, not that tool. I'm going to remove all of these ramps using the remove ramp tool, which is this little button here. Also deconstructs constructions and various other things, but I'm going to leave 2 spaces for them to get, or 1 space for them to get out, which is going to be that one corner right there. So we're going to build this bridge and I'm going to let them remove all of these ramps. While we're doing that, we're also going to place ourselves a lever. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to go down to the mechanic shop and I'm going to place a lever right over here. Now, we could use one of these for the drawbridge, but we're actually just going to use this to fill the moat. We could theoretically reattach it later to the drawbridge, but we're not going to worry about that so much. We're just going to get her placed. So what this lever is going to do is we're going to be connecting it to that floodgate. And that floodgate is going to be over here. That's a sea lamprey, which looks creepy. We're now going to go along underground. And we're going to dig, not channel, just dig, normal dig button, all the way up to the edge of our water source here. Now, once they've dug this out, what this water source here is going to do is it's going to allow us to place that floodgate right here. And then we have full control over what flows in. But before we do that, I just want to stop any unwanted debris from getting stuck in our floodgate and forbidding it from closing. So we're going to make a fortification. Fortifications are these. They do allow for water to flow through and can be carved into water as well. Quite useful if you would like to, keep your fortress safe. So now that that fortification is placed, the next thing that we're going to place is our floodgate, which is going to go right next to it. Now this floodgate is going to be connected to that lever once again, and this is going to allow the water to flow through freely into our moat. And now that the floodgate is placed, we are going to connect this floodgate to a lever, and it looks like our dwarves have been busy building the beginnings of a basic little fortress here. We're going to click the link lever button, and we do need those extra mechanisms that we made earlier to connect this, and then it's going to link the building to trigger. We're going to follow a dwarf and watch them do this. They're going to run over and grab the first mechanism and connect it to the floodgate. And then they're going to run and grab the second mechanism and connect it to the lever, just like so. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go right where our mechanism is, right on this side, right here, and we're going to use the channel tool. We're going to go 1 layer above and we are going to channel out that water. Now this is going to be what allows the water to flow into our future moat. Now you do want to kind of do a double check, make sure that there's nobody stuck in there. Normally I would remove these logs from here. An easy way that we could do that, actually I could just show you, is I could make a little garbage dump up here on the surface, maybe right there. Just remember to get rid of it afterwards. using the zone tool. Then we're going to use the garbage tool, and we're going to chuck all this into garbage. So the dwarves are going to run down here, and they are going to grab all of this out. Also, a pro tip, I would also recommend carving out one line all the way around the bottom of your fortress before you let water in. You want a little bit of overhang on your moat. It's a very, very, very effective thing to stop enemies from climbing. Some enemies can breathe underwater and won't care so much about your pesky water and will simply crawl into the fortress. Of course, you'd want to make something a little bit larger, and now there's a dwarf sleeping here. So I'm just going to wait until all of this trash has been removed, and then we'll fill her up. And now that everything has been removed, all that's left to do is to pull the lever. So we're just going to wait for a dwarf to come over and pull the lever, give her a good tug, and that is how you fill up a basic moat. I would very much recommend having a way to drain your moat, just in case something gets stuck in it, like a dead body or a dwarf body or your Urist's favorite pet cat, or what are you doing there, dwarf? I just get out of the moat. Anyway, that's how you fill a moat, not necessarily safely. Thank you very much for watching this quick tutorial. If you would like to watch more videos like this about Dwarf Fortress or otherwise, I recommend checking out the playlist for this series of tutorials. Quick tutorials are something that I've been doing for a while now on YouTube, and we've got a whole playlist of them building up. I keep getting reports of people binge watching them. If you would like to know anything else about Dwarf Fortress, of course, you can jump into one of my Twitch streams at twitch.tv/BLINDIRL, where I can help. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, I'm guaranteed to be live, but I'm often live on the weekends as well. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.